Hey everyone, book review time. Today we're talking Murderland, Crime and Bloodlust in the Time of Serial Killers by Carolyn Fraser. This is a book that was recommended to me by my sister, and this basically tells the story of a bunch of serial killers during the 60s and 70s, and basically kind of maps where they came from and like what they were doing, but it ties also to the heavy metal industry and copper, like our smelters that were making copper and lead, and what they were putting into the environment, and how all of these, a large majority of these men that became serial killers, grew up in the shadows of these facilities across the country, and especially in the Pacific Northwest, and how like these chemicals that we put into the environment, into nature, how it potentially affected us. And there's some really cool ties of like what that means and how our effects on the environment then affected us as humans. And yeah, how all of these men grew up as boys in the shadow of these smelters and in the smog, and exposed to high levels of lead, high levels of arsenic, cadmium, all these different heavy metals, and what it potentially appears that it did to them, and kind of the mythology that we tell about why we have violent crime. And maybe this is one of the factors that we should really be looking at. It's haunting. It's a tough read, at least for me. I'm not a big true crime person, but the links it makes between our environment and these killers and is very interesting and very deserves a lot more thought. And the fact that our violent crime rates and our numbers of serial killers pretty much mirrors, with a slight delay, the amount of lead and arsenic and other things that we were putting into our environment around us, and that we were breathing and taking in. And when we banned lead and gasoline, and yeah, how all of it was that maybe we created these people. And it's a very disturbing and worthwhile tale that I would recommend to anybody that can handle it, but it is a tough read. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I couldn't really give it more than that. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but it was very, very interesting and a very cool book, and yeah, worth the time.